The presidential election is neck and neck, and we may not have a winner tonight. The 7 battleground states we're watching all have different rules about when mail-in and absentee votes can be counted. Let's bring in Tom LoBianco. He is the co-founder of and a national reporter for 24 Site News. Tom, thanks for being here. Which battleground states will we have results from first?
Well, I think we're going to be doing pretty good with North Carolina, Georgia. Arizona could take a little bit, but we're going to be waiting on Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Pennsylvania, it sounds like they might finish counting all the mail-in voting by tomorrow, potentially. But it's going to take a little while before we know things. I think everybody's expecting, and certainly going back to 2020 when we didn't know until Saturday what the final results are. It's going to take a couple days before we know the final results.
In Pennsylvania, election workers aren't even allowed to begin processing mail ballots until today. Are any other states in that same boat?
Well, Wisconsin's going to be taking a little bit of time to process everything. But it's, again, we know, and this, you got to look at people like Secretary of State Al Schmidt out of Pennsylvania. This has been a very interesting election. A lot of people have been talking about election mechanics this cycle. We've been in a lot of great reporting, a lot of great 60 Minutes pieces in particular have been talking about this. So everybody kind of understands now. The electorate really seems to understand, hey, this is going to take a hot second before we know anything.
And that doesn't mean fraud.
No, not at all. We have not seen any evidence of that. I was talking with some Trump world sources about, what they're expecting today. And I was hearing that there's some concern that they spent so much money over at the Republican Party on these lawyers for, quote unquote, election integrity lawyers. That was money that should have been spent on the ground game, on turnout operations, things that would have actually mattered on today. Of course, still too early to tell. We don't know who's going to win this thing or who's going to lose. But that's the type of thing where you're starting to see some introspection, particularly from inside the Trump campaign. What
are some of the key congressional races that you're watching?
We always make these jokes in politics about, will there be a return of the split ticket voters? I'm hearing a lot of people talking about split ticket voting. Go up to Michigan and Wisconsin. Do you have people voting for Trump and potentially like a Tammy Baldwin? Does Hovde do okay up there? We're seeing a lot of people coming up on Arizona. Does Kerry Lake underperform in Arizona? Trump out there? So you could see a lot of split ticket voting this cycle.
Tom LoBianco, thank you.
Thank you.